Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Figure 4 podcast. I'm your host, Mike Cummings. With me, Dan Marino, and lots to get to this week because WrestleMania just came and went. Big week in New Orleans for the WWE, and man, there was just so much. I know we're a few days from WrestleMania, and a lot of went down on Sunday night, so I'm not even sure where to start with this one, but
we got 7 hours worth of content to cover, man.
Dude, I don't think we can cover all 7, unfortunately, but yeah, it was, for a long show, it was good. You know, I think that they spaced out the big moments, and it was fun. I think some matches went a little too long, and we were talking about that just before we started recording. Yeah. So I think we know which one we're talking about. We can start with that one, if you'd like.
We called it before. We called it last week.
Yeah,
that it was gonna be
we did. We called it. So Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey. Ronda successfully debuting in WWE. She's now 1-0 after they defeated Stephanie McMahon and Triple H in a mixed tag team match. In a match, then I said it went much longer than it should have. It went roughly about 20 minutes. I honestly thought it went about a half hour. It felt like a half hour.
Felt like, yeah.
But you know what? I think Ronda shocked a lot of people, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I said last week, the in-ring stuff is not what worries me with Ronda. I knew she'd be a quick learner. I didn't think she'd be this quick. Like, she was really, really good on Sunday, and props to her for that. And if they build her correctly and kind of keep her off the mic, give her a mouthpiece, Paul Heyman wouldn't be that bad.
Paul Heyman, exactly. Yeah, that'd be a great pick for her.
But yeah, if they just if she's good in the ring, I would like it if they stopped her from like smiling so much and acting all happy all the time. I'd kind of
you don't like the smiling gimmick. I mean,
not a big fan.
It worked. It worked for Apollo Crews.
Yeah, well, did it?
Oh, actually, I mean, never mind. No, I get what you mean though, man. She's supposed to be like
a badass.
A badass, yeah, to say the least. So
I want her scowling all the time, just never looking.
Yeah, I love the scowl, man. I love the scowl. She brings that. I remember she did that on Ellen. It was hilarious. Yeah, man, I totally agree because, she's coming in as, like, the baddest woman on the planet. She needs to act like the baddest woman on the planet.
Exactly.
For me, though, I'm happy for her, and, I'm not a huge UFC guy, I will say, but I know she was a huge star, and she definitely earned what she had in UFC. But, as a wrestling fan, and I know it's not real, but I definitely feel for the rest of the women's division on Raw because, we'll see what happens with the Superstar Shakeup and who's going where. But that despite what those girls have done, the first ever Elimination Chamber, Women's Elimination Chamber, the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, for the SmackDown ladies last year, the first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which we will get to. They put in so much work and so many, revolutionary things going on in the women's division, and now it really doesn't matter because everything women-wise or female-wise in WWE, it's about Ronda Rousey. That's the big push. She's the big draw, and I get it. I don't get me wrong. It's an entertainment company. You're gonna push what's big, but I feel for the girls, man, because they've been putting in that work, and now they don't matter. Look at all the girls that were on the pre-show because, like, for Ronda, I'm not gonna say that's because of Ronda, but
no, it's two of the biggest platforms, two of the biggest. Spots that a female competitor took up on Sunday was Stephanie McMahon and Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean? Like, they were part of a main card match that went 20 minutes and 40 seconds, which is the longest match on the card. And you had Sasha Banks and Bayley and Naomi and Becky Lynch, a bunch of really talented women on the pre-show.
For comparison's sake, I don't know if this is the official time, but Wikipedia, which anybody can edit, says that the Women's Battle Royal went 9 minutes 50 seconds.
Yeah.
So not even half.
Yeah, it's
not like just under half.
You have a 20 of the Women Battle Royal that was less than half the time of the tag team match. That again,
and I mean
Stephanie McMahon and Ronda Rousey,
Charlotte and Asuka. They went 13. That's good. And that was a match that you expect was going to get some time. Nia and Alexa, they went 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So 20 minutes, man. Like I had hope. Like AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, that deserved the 20 minutes
Oh,
it
yeah.
got, which was actually 20 seconds shy of the mixed tag team match. But I thought they would have smartened up, and I had a lot of hope that they were not gonna elevate this match so much. I get it's Ronda Rousey, and I get that's your big fish, but like they didn't learn, man. Like I've learned as a wrestling fan not to put too much faith into WWE because they didn't go with what they've been building all year. That's WrestleMania, man. Like they don't care if you can bust your ass all year long and get your opportunities, but at the end of the day, if you're not Brock Lesnar, you're not going to be in the main event. You know what I mean, or something like that.
No, it's definitely true, man. They could have easily made that 10 minutes less and cut it in half and still made Ronda look like $1 million. Like she still would have looked great if they cut the match in half. And it would have, those 10 minutes would have been so valuable for matches like the Charlotte Asuka match did get some time, but it could have been longer. Actually, I didn't want to see the U.S. title match go any longer. It was fine the way it was. But the SmackDown tag team match was only 6 minutes. Like, that really could have used another 2 or 3 minutes, at least.
Yeah, and you had 3 teams in that match. I mean, I know it was to have the Bludgeon Brothers,
look amazing.
be dominant. Yeah, I get it. But 5 minutes, man. Come on. 6 minutes, sorry. You know what I mean? Like, that's way too little in comparison to the mixed tag team match that was 20 minutes. Exactly. But, nonetheless, I mean, congrats to Ronda. She looked great in the ring.
Looked amazing.
Kurt, you know what? I love Kurt Angle, but I think the guy needs to stay retired. Yeah. He looked okay,
he
but
looked better
and
than
here's
his
the
last
thing.
2 times in the ring. I'll say that.
Yeah, his age is showing, and you know what? That's not me being mean. That's life.
True,
you know, like Triple H looks fantastic for his age. But Triple H is also not human, I don't think.
Triple H, I was saying this while I was watching the actual broadcast with my brothers, but Triple H, I think he looks 50, and then when he takes his shirt off, he looks like 30. Like, it's crazy.
yeah, the dude went back in time to the Attitude Era, man. Seriously,
he's
like
ripped.
He's shredded, man. That's a big dude,
he's in shape.
But they did, to say the least, but they did well. And, congrats to Ronda, congrats to Kurt. Good match. A little too long for my liking, but, honestly, I was, it was good. Yeah. It was good. Not long, but it was good. But I fear for the rest of the women's division.
Yeah, it sucks.
Because it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you do. Asuka could beat Brock Lesnar. It won't matter. You know what I mean? Because, they're not Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, it's all about Ronda,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I feel like we kind of... I have a prediction for what's going to be the main event of WrestleMania next year, and let's just say there's going to be a lot of people that have put in a lot of work to get that spotlight, and it's going to be taken by, Rousey, who's only been a wrestler for a few months, or I guess really just made her debut on Sunday, so... Yeah.
And... I think, I guess what people are speculating is going to be Ronda and Asuka next year. Or Charlotte.
I think it's going to be Charlotte. Yeah, I thought Asuka going into Sunday, I would have said Asuka, but I think they made Charlotte beat Asuka so that she could become, like, this unbeatable Mrs. WWE. I think she's going to get her belt back eventually, kind of overcome the odds for a while, and then it's going to be that huge match where, once again, she's facing an undefeated wrestler on the biggest stage of them all, but it's going to be in the main event, and I think it's Rousey versus Charlotte, but I think Rousey will win.
Yeah, because a women's main event for WrestleMania, it's coming.
It's coming, yeah.
And it's well deserved.
Yeah,
it's past its deserving date, so to speak. So, yeah, I agree with that. I can see that for sure. Yeah. And we'll see if Rousey and Asuka battle one another, because obviously with WWE they're going to keep Ronda on Raw because that's just WWE for you. There are rumors, I don't want to spoil it, but there are rumors that Asuka might be heading to SmackDown in the Superstar Shakeup.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She was on a local advertisement for a SmackDown live event in Mississippi, I believe, in June. I want to say we just posted that yesterday, but yeah. So we'll see what happens. So she might get separated from Ronda, and we never know. But maybe does that send Charlotte to Raw? I mean, she's only been on SmackDown for a year, but possibilities are endless for that, for the Superstar Shakeup. But
It's interesting. I don't think they'll touch Charlotte. I think they'll leave Charlotte on SmackDown because I think they want it.
I'd hope so.
I think they want to keep Rousey and Charlotte separated until WrestleMania. But again, this is all based on my prediction that they're going to fight in the main event next year. So
yeah. Well, we'll see. But nonetheless, congrats to Ronda on a fantastic debut in WWE, and that's WrestleMania, right? It's just supposed to be about the big moments and what we touched on last year, those WrestleMania moments. And one that happened on Sunday that was getting a lot of fans riled up, and I'm very happy to say Daniel Bryan is back in WWE because he and Shane defeated Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and with that, Owens and Zayn remain without a contract, and they tried to get one on Raw, and that didn't work out, unfortunately. But yeah, that match, man, I mean, I was hoping to see DB a little more.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you definitely wanted to see him more, but it might have been good storytelling the way they kind of kept him away for a bit. Because we've been waiting so long to see Bryan back in the ring, and it was kind of like, it felt like surreal that it was going to happen, and then right when it's about to start, they kind of just say, no, not yet, might not happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was good to like...
But it was like...
It's good. It was good how they did it.
Yeah, they kept it away from you for a bit.
But I guess that's why I say, I wish I saw more, because, but they did a great job of storytelling, and he came in and, he kicked ass, and it was great. Yeah. It's like the old Daniel Bryan, and what I love about that is that he loves professional wrestling. So to see him in that ring and he's passionate about it, it's not like Brock Lesnar coming back and he's like, oh, there's cash involved. You know what I mean? Like, Daniel Bryan loves this business, and I'll give that to Ronda as well, because you can tell she loves professional wrestling, and that's a big plus. That's a big plus in my book. So seeing Daniel out there and doing his thing, and Shane being Shane, doing his crazy stuff. Yeah, man. Honestly, it was a lot of fun to see Daniel Bryan back in the ring, and I couldn't be happier for a guy who is, I think he's the embodiment of passion. You know what I mean? 100%. So I'm so happy to see him back, and that WrestleMania moment, him being back in New Orleans, the same arena that he won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship 4 years ago. It was kind of came full circle for him. So it was, to say the least, it was special. So I'm honestly, welcome back, Daniel, and we couldn't be happier to have you back. And
yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, I'm getting a little teary-eyed, man. It was special. It was awesome.
Oh, 100%. Man. Like, it was
fantastic.
When they announced that he was cleared and he came on SmackDown, it was like an amazing moment. But even with knowing that it was happening, even with knowing that it was scheduled to happen, it was pretty surreal seeing him back in the ring. Like, it's been so long, and it seems so unlikely that it was ever going to happen again, especially in a WWE ring. I was on the edge of my seat. Like, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen, like, just waiting to see him get back in the ring. And then once he did, it was amazing. It was truly an amazing WrestleMania moment, an amazing moment period, just an amazing story. Like, Daniel Bryan, man, Jesus.
And what's great too is that you look on the other side of the ring, you got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn,
two of the best guys in the company.
They're no slouches.
Yeah.
They're not slouches. No. They're. I love this story though, how they don't have a job, and it's like those guys are like the two most valuable people on the roster. How do they don't have a job? I don't know, but I get it. I get Kurt doesn't want to sign him because they attacked Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, so I get it for his own safety. But yeah, it was. Honestly, man, it was. I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah.
Like, welcome back, man. Honestly, it was so much fun to watch you, and to me, like, seeing him in the ring, it didn't look like he didn't miss a step. He looked like he had just wrestled the night before.
That's the scary thing. That's why it's almost like I'm almost cringing watching it, because I'm like, man, don't you want to take it a little easy? But that's not Daniel Bryan's thing, right? Like, he's just full throttle.
The reports from when he was coming back, I believe it's kind of along the lines of after every match he has to get tested,
that makes a lot
which
of sense.
Which is totally fine, makes a lot of sense. So I guess he can. I don't want to say he can afford to take these bumps, but it's not like they're gonna miss anything if something does go wrong. So yeah, man, take it easy, but no, happy to see you back, Daniel. Honestly, it was so much fun, and I can't wait to see what happens with you. I hope you stay on SmackDown because they need the firepower.
Yeah.
And having you back, like, so go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I hope he stays on SmackDown and all that. But can we stop with this Shane McMahon needs to be in a match at every WrestleMania thing? Because Like, I don't need to see Shane McMahon wrestle anymore. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't think that when it comes to WrestleMania, I want to see Daniel Bryan. I mean, I guess it worked this year because of the whole storyline they had where it let Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, like, it made sense. But I don't need to see Shane taking up a spot on a WrestleMania card every year. I don't know why they're treating it like the Undertaker, where he has to wrestle every WrestleMania.
I get it.
It's 3 years in a row now.
I totally understand where you're coming from with that one. It was like, he did 2016, 32, and it was special.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see Shane back, but yeah, like last year, like he didn't need to face AJ.
No, absolutely not.
Like he's not Undertaker. He's not Undertaker. He's not, and that's no disrespect to Shane, but he's not
a wrestler.
Undertaker. He's not a wrestler.
Like, I mean, he isn't. For someone who's not a wrestler, for like the boss's son, he's great in the ring, but like he is not a wrestler. I don't need to see him fight the Undertaker at WrestleMania and take up what is usually one of the most special matches on the card. I don't need to see him fight AJ Styles after AJ Styles carried SmackDown for an entire year and held the title for the entire year as well. Like, I don't need it. Like, but whatever. It worked this time. Hopefully it's the last time. It probably won't be, but
we'll see what happens, man. But you mentioned Taker. Mm-hmm. We did see him at WrestleMania.
Yes, we did.
They milked that. They milked it to the very end.
They really did.
I had thoughts. I didn't want to think he wasn't going to be there after all this build up, but the one thing that was keeping me from thinking he was actually going to be there was the fact they weren't promoting him.
Yeah.
So, I get it. It's a storyline thing, but even for WWE, if you're saying the Undertaker's going to be there, people are going to want to watch. Yeah. So, I was really excited to see that when the referee came out and told Cena, like, get to the back and change. You know what I mean? That was odd. That was so cool because the commentators crack me up. I know they have to play dumb, but like, my God, you actually look like you're a child. What's going on? What do you think's going on, man? What do you think? Like, oh, there's cake and catering. Like, no, it's Undertaker's back, man. Undertaker's here. Yeah. He's about to. You guys are about to throw down in an hour or so. So, but short match, and I think that's kind of Taker's standard now because he's getting old. Yeah. But
well,
what you like we kind of talked about it before. I think it's definitely past its due date for that one. It was, that should have happened years ago.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a good idea to have it take place despite it being very short and Taker being older? Or do you just say, well, it's Cena Taker, it had to happen at WrestleMania, I'm glad they did it?
Well, like I said last week, I just wish he would have retired last year or the year before that or like the year before that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he should...
Yeah.
It's sad to see him go out there and look so old and so, like, quite honestly bad in the ring. Like, he hasn't had a good match since CM Punk at, what was that, WrestleMania 29 or something? 29. Right, so it's sad, but I think with it happening, I think I like the way they did it. I think most people had the worry that I had. It was that, again, Undertaker was going to come out old and slow and broken, but they managed to, by making it just a 3-minute match, they managed to make Undertaker look as good as they possibly could. And Cena's the kind of guy that can afford to take a 3-minute pin at WrestleMania. It's the Undertaker,
for
right?
sure.
So,
yes, he can. Yes, he can.
So it was the only thing I don't like is that it most likely means that he's not... Well, I mean, he's definitely not retiring now because he's fighting Rusev at the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Well, actually, I'm going to cut you off because they just announced Rusev's been replaced in that match. What? Literally just came out as we're talking. So, I don't know the exact reason. I guess Lana was complaining on Twitter, but I don't think that really is... I don't know if it's real or not, the storyline, but she was saying she refuses to let Rusev compete in that match. So, now...
What's happening?
This is breaking news. We're breaking news on this show, man.
Oh, he's fighting
Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho will replace Rusev to face The Undertaker in a casket match at Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia on April 27th.
Oh my God, the GOAT!
What? Like,
what
okay.
What is going on?
So, Lana, look, when I got the notification, not from WWE, but they were saying that this is this is happening now, this replacement, because of Lana's complaints. Now I don't know if that's what WWE has said. I don't know if I'm gonna assume that the complaints aren't real. You know what I mean? But
it's got to be storyline.
But yeah, I mean WWE retweeted her. WWE retweeted Lana's tweet about.
So it's got to be story.
I know. I'm not. Yeah. But that kind of sucks. I mean, I know Rusev wasn't gonna win, but I would love to see Rusev in the ring. But now we get to see Taker and Jericho. Oh, actually, WWE. Actually, the story, in the article WWE just posted. Sorry, this is like just breaking. Yeah, they're talking about Lana and her complaints, and yeah, okay. Well, hey, I'm not complaining about Taker and Deadman, or Taker and Deadman. That's the same person. Taker and Jericho.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Wow,
be awesome.
That kind of threw me off. But either way, the point I was trying to make is that he's definitely fighting at WrestleMania next year because he's not retiring off a casket match at the Greatest Royal Rumble against. Well, I mean now it's Jericho, but still, like it's not the way he's going to go out. He's going to go out at WrestleMania. So
yeah, I don't know who he'll face, but
how much longer
he got
is
a
he
year.
going to be able to go without shaving his head again? Because he had quite the how do I say this? It was his hairline was worse than LeBron. Like it was.
Oh, that's right in the that's right in the heart, man. But it
was bad, man. Like it was really bad. I feel like the fact that his hair was long made it even more noticeable. Like it was.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but like a couple years ago, like he was wearing a wig.
Yeah. Well, he was.
I don't know if that was for WrestleMania or not, but I think it was to the build up to the Shane match.
Right. That's what. Yeah. Because that's when he first started growing it out again.
He was wearing the wig, but it was a wig.
Yeah.
And then when he did the Shane match, it was it was long short. It wasn't like long Taker, but it was it had some length.
Yeah.
It wasn't like what it was against Punk.
See,
I think
people come to the Figure 4 podcast because they think they want to hear about wrestling analysis, but what they really want is hair analysis.
We're talking about hairlines, man. We're talking. Oh no, we're talking about hairline, and yeah, we got everything on this show.
Oh my god, it's the perfect podcast.
There's too much. But yeah, Cena Taker, it happened. It's over with. Won't happen again probably. We'll see what happens next year with both those guys.
Would it shock you if I think Cena might win his 17th like record-breaking title at WrestleMania next year, but it wouldn't shock me if they use this to build up to a rematch next year where Cena says like, "Oh, he caught me off guard and I want another shot" and stuff like that. So they have one last match at WrestleMania next year.
Oh my! So once in a lifetime part two.
Exactly, and then hopefully Undertaker.
Oh.
Undertaker cannot
you
wrestle
can't, man.
past next WrestleMania. So
no, he shouldn't. He should not.
Opponent. I don't know.
Like let him stay at home. Like let him be the coward you were calling him, John. Yeah. Like let him stay at home.
Someone needs
just relax.
Someone needs to tie him to his bed or something because this guy cannot stay.
Yeah,
like he is.
Michelle McCool's not doing her job. Just keep him at home, man. Just keep him at home. I love seeing Taker. Don't get me wrong. I grew up watching him. I didn't grow up in the 90s, but I grew up watching him do his thing, and he's one of the best. He's one of the best of all time.
Of course, I still got chills watching him come down the ramp on Sunday.
Yeah. When you hear the gong and all that,
still
like
the most amazing entrance in wrestling, and there's so much nostalgia.
Oh, it's fantastic, man.
But it's I still love the Undertaker. It's just he can't wrestle anymore. He's hurting.
Well, it's like what I said with Kurt. It's like what I said with Kurt Angle. Age catches up to you, and you can look good. I'm not saying Kurt looked bad. Don't get me wrong. I like you could just tell when guys are getting to that age where they might need to consider staying out of the ring.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm sure Taker's gonna wrestle next year. They're gonna keep bringing him back. He'll probably go until he actually dies.
I think so, man. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, hey man, if he's cool with it, if he's cool to come back, I'm happy to see him.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't want to be like, don't come back. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence, man.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. All right, we should probably move on. This is a
long Oh my God, there's so much to talk about. Well, yeah, okay. Brock and Roman, dude, I was shocked.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't lead with
Brock Lesnar retained. Listen, I'm not a fan of. I'll be honest. I know he doesn't listen to this. Brock Lesnar, I'm not a fan of him in WWE. Reason being, I want to see a world champion on Raw every single week.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
You know what
I love Brock. I think he's one of the most must-see things in wrestling, and the fact that he's not on TV all the time makes it more special. I love that he embraces the whole mercenary thing. Like, in storyline and in real life, he's the kind of guy that's going to show up for the big payday.
Yeah.
But he's not... Like, you don't want the champion to be that guy. You just want him to show up for awesome matches at SummerSlam and WrestleMania, not... You don't want the champion not on Raw every weekend.
Yeah, exactly, man. Dude, look at the Universal Championship. Goldberg was the Universal Champion. Like, it's a part-timer's belt. And before that, Kevin Owens had one of the best title runs in a long time. Yeah. I love the stuff with Jericho, and they were feuding with Roman and with Seth Rollins and all that. It was great, man. The stuff with Braun Strowman.
Yeah, well, Kevin Owens and Jericho should have fought for the Universal title at WrestleMania, not the U.S. title. Like, that was BS. They really did Kevin Owens dirty because... Or actually, that both Jericho and Kevin Owens, because their rivalry was the best thing in wrestling that year. Kevin Owens' title reign was amazing. He really carried Raw. And Goldberg and Lesnar was a match that was going to be able to sell whether there was a title involved or not. Like, they
exactly. It didn't need the title. It didn't, man. But that's what I'm saying. That's WWE for you. It doesn't matter what you do throughout the year. If you're not the big draw like that, you're not gonna get a big spot. And don't get me wrong, the title match between Jericho and Owens last year at WrestleMania for the U.S. Championship, I liked it. It was great. You know, they delivered as expected, but it should have been for the Universal Championship. But no, we got part-time Brock Lesnar and very part-time Goldberg. So we're gonna give them the title match, but they didn't need. And like we said last week, Brock didn't even compete until July after that or something like that.
He was off TV for a while.
Yeah, like you can look at title reigns, and that's for me. I like to look at how long the reign is over how many titles you've won, because Sasha Banks has 5 Raw Women's Championships, but they've all been for 8 days or something ridiculous. Yeah. Brock has long title reigns, but you got to compete.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you got to put the title. You got to compete. You got to show up, and I'm not a fan of it, to be honest, man. I really wish he would just go back to the UFC. I know he has to go through this, the waiting pool and all that, and there's reports now that his contract is long-term, but then some saying it's not, and some saying that he's going to compete in the UFC simultaneously.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Apparently he's allowed to fight in the UFC at least one time while being with the WWE. I don't know. It's annoying. Again, this would all be fine if he wasn't champion, but...
So is he going to walk into the Octagon with the Universal Championship?
You mean physically?
Or how does that work, man? Yeah, like Paul Heyman, he comes out to his WWE theme song. Paul Heyman's behind him.
That would be amazing.
Imagine. It's he does the promo. He does not the promo. He does the entrance. The fireworks go off.
My God. No, the UFC would never do that. That would be insane.
Imagine.
I would love it,
dude.
But no, they wouldn't do that.
Go ahead. And then Roman Reigns comes out of nowhere and spears him.
Yeah, right.
It's just a big WWE angle.
It just turns into a triple threat match. Roman Reigns.
Oh
Brock
my God!
Lesnar,
Brock Lesnar, Daniel Cormier.
Or Daniel Cormier, yeah, because Cormier and Miocic.
It's
are
Cormier
fighting.
and yeah. So apparently he's gonna fight the winner. That's what's being reported.
Oh my God!
So we'll
Did
see.
you see Cormier's face when Dana White said that? Because it was a press conference. And Dana White said, we think about doing the winner of Miocic versus Cormier against Lesnar. And Cormier is sitting beside him. And Cormier looked like he just found out that... he just received the great... he just found out that he was having a kid. You know what I mean? He looked like he was in heaven. You know what I mean? It was pretty awesome. It was a...
I didn't see it, but...
Definitely look.
Yeah, man, dude, that'd be a big fight. That'd be a big fight.
Well, it's a big payday in the UFC, right? If you're facing Lesnar.
Yeah. That's sports entertainment for you, man. Believe it or not, UFC is sports entertainment as well.
Yeah.
You know.
And Cormier is also a huge wrestling fan, so he's
there you go.
Lesnar
so yeah, fan. He's a big fan of that fight if the money's good, right? Yeah. And it will be. So, and Brock vice versa. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, man, the reports too are saying, and again, these are all reports, nothing's confirmed, but people are saying that Brock's just working off an extension of his current or his last contract, the one that just expired. So, I don't know if they'd give. I don't know if they'd let him lose the title. I'm not gonna say on such a small. It's not a small pay-per-view, but on at Greatest Royal Rumble in the steel cage match with Roman. But I don't know, man. Honestly, like I really hope he does, and I hope that's it.
Well,
I can't take this stuff anymore.
It's just super weird because I don't understand why the decision was made other than to create a shocking moment, right? Because it was,
which they definitely did.
Like and on a card where Asuka lost her undefeated streak, Roman Reigns being pinned by Lesnar was the most shocking thing that happened all night. It was a pretty, if I'm gonna be honest, awesome moment where I kind of like everyone in the room. Because I had people over watching it. Everyone in the room with me jumped out of their seats. The second they counted 3, it was like, wait, what? It was almost as bad as when The Undertaker got pinned. Because it was just so obvious that Reigns was winning.
Yeah. I don't think, that many people didn't know about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, no.
I don't even think, I heard the referee didn't even know about it.
Oh, really?
Because for WWE referees, I mean, obviously, they're going to know the finishes and whatnot, but their job is to just count 3, no matter what happens. So when Roman doesn't kick out, I don't know who I don't remember who it was, but he had to count 3.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the job. You can't just stop at 2. So
I just don't know what the plan is. Because, okay, if this is just an extension of his contract and he drops it at the end of this month, like, you had Lesnar beat Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania just so he can drop it to him later that month. Like, what is the purpose of that?
Like, you're just screwing with fans for the sake of screwing with the fans. You
created a shocking
like,
moment.
You didn't need that, man. You had shock moments already, as you just said. We had shock moments.
Like, you're just creating a shock moment at the expense of a story because now, like, Lesnar and Reigns are gonna look worse than they did going into WrestleMania if Lesnar drops his title to Reigns. Because now you have Reigns losing clean at the biggest the biggest pay-per-view of the entire year, and then Lesnar dropping it a few weeks later. Like, they both look bad.
It looks terrible, and Roman's already got a match set up for Backlash with Joe, who welcome back.
Oh, Joe's promo was fire, man.
Fantastic.
Oh, I love Joe,
to say the least. But so I want to see that for the Universal Championship.
Yeah. It should be for
but
the
we're not going
Championship.
to. I don't think we will. Well, actually, what's interesting to me, as I just think about this now, weren't the reports, and we talked about this, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast itself, but we have talked about this. The plan was to have Joe feud with Reigns post-WrestleMania.
Yeah, we talked about that on the podcast.
Presumably for the title. So, is that still in play? That could still be in play. Let me get... I don't know the exact date for Backlash. We're going to pull that up as we're talking.
We don't know what the hell's going on because the most obvious thing on Sunday was that Lesnar was going to take the pin, right? Reigns was going to be the first guy to kick out of an F5 in a year, and he was going to get finally get his win over Lesnar. Even if Lesnar is staying with the company long term, it just doesn't make sense to have him beat Reigns. As much as people hate Reigns, he was being built up as this badass baby face.
Oh, I love it. I know what they were doing, and I know people didn't believe it. Not everybody believed it, but like I love cheering for Roman just because a lot of people hate him.
Well,
that's just me. That's just my mentality. But yeah, I want to see him as champion because think about it. You're gonna get to see a champion on Raw every single week. Yeah, I like Brock doesn't. Again, we talked. It was like with the match last year, WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. They don't need the title. Brock doesn't need the title to be relevant. He's a huge star on his own.
If you use Lesnar properly, he could be the co-main event on every pay-per-view he's on, or even the main event over the title if you, for some reason, want to.
Yeah.
You have 2 main events now. You have the title match, and you have the Lesnar match. Or now it's going to be co-brand on every pay-per-view, so now you have 3 main events.
Yeah, exactly. It's not rocket science.
It would be for the same reason that Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker stopped winning titles later on in their career, because they were able to have these all-star feuds that weren't for the title.
Exactly.
Like, they were able to put on main event matches that weren't the main event. Oh man, I just don't understand how they don't. They've already used this formula before. I don't know why they're not seeing it with Lesnar, but
you don't need to sell Brock Lesnar with the title. You don't need to, because you can sell him on his own because he's a huge star.
Look at him.
And he's that mainstream star. Yeah, he's a monster, bro. He's huge. And he's a, UFC, he had a great career there. And, he does the crossover from here and there with the Mark Hunt stuff. And, yeah, he doesn't need the title, man. But WWE doesn't learn.
No, they don't.
Do what you want. WWE, we know Roman Reigns is the guy you want to push. Give him the damn title now, then.
Yeah,
okay?
I mean,
I don't care what happens after that. Let Joe win it, I don't care if Roman holds it for the whole year. I don't care. If he loses it next year at Mania, fine. Have him hold on to it the entire year. But just take it off the guy who's never showing up to work. I know that's in his contract. I'm not saying he's a no-show. But have it on the guy who's there every week. He gets booed every week, fair enough. But at least you have a world title. And you can cheer for the guys that he's going to beat eventually.
Yeah, I don't know. And every feud that Reigns would have with the title would be immediately more interesting than anything Lesnar's going to do with the title.
Yeah, because like, even though you might speculate, he's just going to retain. Yeah, but you're going to get the cheer for Joe. You're going to get the cheer for Rollins, maybe. You get the cheer for Miz. You get the cheer for Balor. You're going to get the cheer for whoever comes over in the Superstar Shakeup, because obviously Roman's not going to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not rocket science. But WWE, like, they're making it rocket science. Anyway, that world title match, it happened. This one happened too. AJ Shinsuke. AJ Styles retains, but I was not I called the heel turn, but not the right person. Yeah. I was like half right.
Heel Shinsuke. What is going on? That
Wow.
was awesome.
Now listen, I don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. I never did when he was there. I don't know if he ever played the heel. So I can't comment, and I apologize if he has, and I'm not saying he can't, but I was really pulling for AJ to do it.
Yeah, I get that. Like before the match, if you told me that one of them was going to turn heel, I would have definitely said AJ, and I was certain that Shinsuke was going to get the title. But this is kind of exciting. Like it was so unexpected.
I'm very intrigued.
And
hey, look at this though. We get another heel foreigner.
Yeah. Well,
wow.
I don't know if they're going to play that in the same way they're doing with Jinder. But
never. Or Rusev, never seen that before. Oh wait,
no, that's true.
Yeah,
but
so,
did you,
or like the Lee, or like Sheamus, Cesaro, all these foreigners. If you're not American,
you're a heel.
Like, we don't like you. Okay, sorry, man. Sorry.
Did you see the? I don't know if I should call it a promo. The segment that Shinsuke had backstage on SmackDown.
Wait, he said he didn't speak any English.
That was great. That was
funny.
Was great. I mean, even his mannerisms, now that he's turned heel, like he was always doing that weird dancey thing and the weird faces and stuff like that. That's always been his thing, but
he just looked like he just didn't care. He just didn't want to be there.
No, but I'm saying
like just stop. Like it's like your relatives trying to talk to you at a family reunion. Like just don't talk to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? I like
but
that.
I mean,
I'm not a huge fan of WWE. Sorry to cut you off. I'm not a huge fan of WWE doing the like, oh, you don't speak English that well, but we're gonna mock you.
No, that's true.
Like when Jinder was doing the stuff with who was it with?
It was Shinsuke.
Shinsuke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or when Alexa Bliss is like, Asuka doesn't understand English very well, so I'm gonna speak slowly.
Yeah.
It's very bad taste.
It is.
For me.
But I think the reason they had Shinsuke say that on Tuesday was because of I have definitely heard fans say that they can't get behind Shinsuke because he doesn't speak English. So I think that was more of
fair enough.
Him kind of getting back at those fans, right? But
yeah,
when I'm talking mannerisms, I mean like the kind of stuff that he does when he walks down to the ring and like what he does in the ring.
Yes.
Like how he's always moving around and like doing those weird faces.
Very lackadaisical.
Yeah, and I
just
think
doesn't.
It actually
just
worked.
Not a care in the world.
It worked really well on Tuesday as a heel. Like it was interesting. I don't know, and I love that he is selling the low blow as like the ultimate heel move.
It's such an awkward low blow though. It's not like a straight. It's like on a
nether region.
It's on like the weird ankle. Yeah. He's got he's already got the 4 kids, so
Hey, well, he's not having a fifth. I'll tell you that much.
No more tattoos for AJ on the side there. He's not having any anymore. But yeah, man. Honestly, I knew AJ Daniel. We'll just briefly that was great. Like it was cool. It was like a nice wrestling match. It was cool.
Yeah, well,
I knew Shinsuke was coming out when it came down to 9:58 p.m. Eastern time, and I knew, no one's gonna get this win here. So Shinsuke's probably just gonna break it up.
Even when it was announced,
it was
that Shinsuke was coming out.
Yeah, you knew. And the fact that you only saw him in a backstage interview, he's coming out. But that was great. And Shinsuke is really playing up this heel thing, man. And I'm like you. I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen.
I really want to see it. I want to see where he goes with it. It's super.
Well, here. For me, right off the bat, I mean, he didn't just attack AJ on Tuesday. So there's a match right there. So maybe that's, Paige is like, yeah, I see that. We're gonna set up that match, and that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And maybe AJ will interfere in that one, and then this will just be a nice little triple threat feud for their world title. So,
well, I know Shinsuke really wants to wrestle Daniel Bryan, so
yes, and I'm sure that's likewise for Daniel.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna see that at some point.
It's special, man. It's special. I'm really pulling for
Yeah.
it. So, I don't really follow independent wrestling that much, but I'm aware of who's out there. Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. I wasn't too familiar with Nicholas. But he sounds like he's got a very busy schedule, with the fourth grade and all. Dude, what the heck was that? Listen, it made for an awesome, funny moment, but what the hell happened with that? That was. I hate the crap on Braun Strowman, but dude, that was horrible. Not on him, but what the hell happened with Nicholas, man? I know he's actually WWE's senior official, John Cone's son. John Cone's hilarious, by the way, but dude, what the hell?
Let me just say right off the bat, that was a great
rest in peace, Raw Tag Team Division. First, rest in peace, the Raw Tag Team Division on that night. Really.
No,
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that was a great transition by you into the Braun match. So I'll give you props for that.
I'm just trying to go along. We don't have a lot of time, but we got a lot to go over.
Well, when you brought up the Young Bucks, I was kind of like, where are you going with this? And then Nicholas, that makes.
I'm wearing a Young Bucks t-shirt, so that's probably that's probably what that sparked interest. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
But no, I told you how worried I was about this. I told you how much I didn't like the build to this match, and how I know Braun is obviously still over, but like I feel like they're playing with fire here, because this whole situation, I thought it was actually worse for Cesaro and Sheamus, and they did look bad on Sunday.
Oh yeah,
but, Braun was involved in one of the dumbest. It was such a good moment for Nicholas, and it was jokes, but like at the same time, Cesaro and Sheamus look like a joke. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, like listen, I would love to be Nicholas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you're back to school. So what'd you do on the weekend? Oh, I was at WrestleMania and I competed. I won the Raw Tag Team titles. He's got to be in the record books.
Yeah, I read a
books,
tweet or something that said he's the youngest champion in WWE history, regardless of what.
Oh my god, dude! Like, what I hate now is that you look at guys like Tyler Bate and Rene Dupree who have won titles as teenagers, and it's like, dude, that's crazy. Like, Tyler Bate's my age, and I think to myself, wow, like that's. Like, what am I doing? Like, impressive. That's awesome. I mean, in England you can kind of get away with doing stuff a little younger, but like that's cool. I always like seeing the teenagers win and the young guys win, but like now you got a 10-year-old winning titles, man. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it was dumb. It was dumb. Like, again, cool moment, but like also not. Like, I told you, I was worried that Strowman was never going to have a partner, and he was just going to squash Cesaro and Sheamus on his own. Instead, he did,
which I was pulling for, to be honest, just for his sake, not for the Raw titles, tag team title division. But
it probably would have been better. Yeah, it would have been better for Braun for sure, but they had an opportunity to bring. It was dumb. It was so dumb.
It was questionable.
Where does Braun go from here? Like, is he gonna win the 50
Dude, I don't know.
No kind of stake.
Yeah, what's my prize? Nothing. We're in Saudi Arabia, so just play up to our market here. Okay. I
was telling you before we started recording. Like, I'm really looking forward to the 50-man Royal Rumble because it looks like an awesome event. Every title's being defended. I want to see who they put over in the actual Royal Rumble, but like, I want to know what the stakes are, and it's
it better be just a world title match or something.
Like a title.
Like,
shot.
it better be something, man. It has to be. Make it title shot of your choice. You want to go after the Universal Championship? Fine. You want to go after AJ Styles, the WWE title? Go for it. But if it's just 50-man Royal Rumble, and like there's no payoff, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say that, but I don't.
Like, I have a feeling they're just going to use it to make someone look good because they're the guy who won the 50-man Royal Rumble. But, like, again, if it doesn't have any stakes, why are we invested?
Well, and the thing, too, is, I mean, it's what we were saying, it's like noon.
Yeah.
Eastern time.
Yeah.
Like, how many people are watching that live?
Yeah, that's going to be tough. I mean, I won't be able to. I'll be at work, so...
Yeah, exactly. So like you're gonna read about it or you're gonna rewatch it.
Yeah.
So it's not like I just don't think it's not like WrestleMania where you're watching live and you think, oh wow, like that guy just won in front of me. You're gonna be like, oh, so who won that match? Oh, Braun did. Cool. I didn't even get to watch it, but now I can. So it doesn't. I don't think it matters. I mean, it's great for the people in Saudi Arabia. Don't get me wrong. Like it's gonna be an awesome event, but where WWE the money lies in America, and nobody's gonna be watching that.
Yeah.
Like people on the West Coast, like it's gonna be like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
No one's watching WWE at 9 a.m.
No,
I mean,
that's tough. And
I
there's
don't know,
no
man.
women on the card either, eh?
No, which is unfortunate. I wish the world was different, but it's not.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, no women on the card that night. A lot of title matches though, but yeah, dude, I don't know what happens with Braun. I know we were gonna give our predictions for his future, but I literally I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know what? Go to SmackDown, man.
Yeah,
Just
that
get
would
away,
make
get away
sense.
from Raw.
I would.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
I'd love it. But I know them because they still are high on him, so I know they're just gonna keep him on Raw because that's where all the big boys play, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. But yeah, the one transition we did see just for the one night, Asuka, Charlotte Flair, and my God, Asuka lost. I did not expect it to happen. I thought she was going all the way till next year. We kind of touched on that earlier, but dude, wow.
Yeah,
That's all I gotta say. Wow.
It was shocking. It was truly shocking to see her tap out so suddenly.
Great
too.
match.
Like it was. That was one of the picks I was the most confident in. Is that Asuka was going to put Flair down and head into next year's WrestleMania undefeated. But I kind of see what they're going for. I don't know if it. I don't think. I think time will tell if it was the right decision. But
yeah, I get you.
Right now, it feels kind of icky. Like it's so hard to build up someone like Asuka, like with an undefeated streak that's as long as hers was, and they kind of just squandered it. I feel like, but
to be honest, out of the losers of WrestleMania, I thought she would be the one to turn on her opponent.
That would have made so much sense,
because Asuka had a brief, I guess you could say a brief heel run in NXT with the Ember Moon stuff. She was kind of the heel. So she has that experience, and I mean, again, I didn't watch her before WWE. I apologize, but she might have been the heel back in Japan or wherever she competed. I get it, but I'm happy that it was nice to see that moment between them at the end of the match where she was happy for Charlotte, but I'm still sitting in shock because I thought for sure Asuka was gonna take that victory and maybe not ride all the way to WrestleMania. Looking back on it, but do something with it. That's a huge. It's longer than Goldberg's.
Yeah.
So I thought they were gonna keep riding that, but
it was super long. And I thought when she did go to congratulate Charlotte after the match and said Charlotte was ready for Asuka or whatever she said, I thought she was gonna turn heel there. Like that's where I thought the heel turn was coming, but.
Well, because when that didn't happen, after that I thought when I saw AJ and Shinsuke doing it, I'm like, okay, they're not just gonna have this exact same moment, are they?
Yeah.
Like
that's true.
So somebody's got to give, and I hate to say unfortunately, but I think I would have preferred to see Asuka turn heel. But I'm really intrigued to see what Shinsuke can do. Yeah. I just don't. I'm just nervous for him because I felt that AJ was the better move there. And I'm kind of going off topic here, but yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Again, it'll be interesting. It's different. It's definitely different.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens with Asuka. I mean, she might head to SmackDown, as I said earlier. Again, that's just a rumor. WWE likes to spoil things, so
I think that,
we'll see.
Go ahead. I think that the SmackDown Women's Division probably needs her more than Raw, anyway. So.
Yeah, like Raw's is pretty Sasha and Bayley are doing their thing. Like they're kind of just there, but they're really what am I trying to say? They can easily just get away from just being there and then actually being at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
If that that didn't make sense to me, but pretty much they're the two top girls there, and Ronda and Nia and Alexa. Like it's a great division. And Mickie James getting screwed out over here, former 6-time women's champion.
That's true.
And then you got Dana Brooke. And
my girl Dana Brooke.
You got somebody who I really am a big fan of, Ember Moon. I love watching her compete.
Oh god,
that eclipse, man. I love the eclipse. That's that might be one of my favorite finishers in WWE
she
right
is
now.
gonna be
that
awesome
and like
on the main roster.
So good. And I'm really like I love this Nia Jax face turn. Really works well for her. And you know what? I will say I'm not a huge fan of the story that they're building with her though, because they're trying to, with her, she's trying to say it's okay, like be okay with how you are and who you are and your characteristics. I hate how they're kind of exploiting her with that. I hate how they're just kind of, oh, she doesn't look like the other girls, so let's use that in a story. It's a little too real for me.
Yeah, the only thing I see with that is my hope. Is that because I know she's talked about being bullied before, in
Yes.
like real life. So my hope is that she pitched it to them, because it was a story that might mean a lot more to her.
Yes, man. Yeah, for sure. And I know WWE has a lot of anti-bullying stuff with Be a Star and all that, and that's great. I'm with you on that. I'm really pulling for that to just be her call, because WWE saying, hey, you don't look like the other girls, so we're gonna make that a story.
That's pretty cringeworthy.
That's terrible. And she even took a bit of a leave later in 2017 because she didn't like the booking. So if they had pitched that to her and she was against it, like that, bye. Like she's out of there. So I'm really pulling for that. Yeah, I'm hoping that's her call. Like nothing's come out and said whose call it was, unless I missed that. But yeah. Yeah, we'll see, man. Honestly, Superstar Shakeup makes it very interesting. So we'll see what happens with the divisions next week. And it's so hard to say that Paige retired. She has had such a great career and she's been wrestling for such a long time. But we even tweeted out, because there was a report. I don't know if I credited them in the tweet, and I apologize for that. But the report came out saying that Paige, that was her final appearance for a while, at least. Yeah. But no, she's back, and she's. It's like, it just reminded me of like the John Cena stuff. Remember when he got fired from the Nexus, and then he came back the next week?
Yeah, but that was
kind of like that. Like, did you miss me? Well, you weren't really gone, so no, I didn't miss you. But no, great to see Paige. Like that's a great call.
I thought it was awesome.
It was cool. It's cool, and she's loved by the crowd, and I know she's had some personal issues the past few years, to say the least. And, that's her own private business. But oh man, dude, I was seeing memes of like Shane announcing Paige as the general manager, and then you see like a picture of the New Day. Like it's not. It's really bad taste, man. Like I just mentioned it because it's really poor taste. Like just calm down, guys. But
no, I thought.
Interesting.
I thought
she made a great first match. She made AJ and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, well, that was a good call by them to like have her make that like. If you're debuting as a GM and announcing that as your first match, is a good way to get over. But I thought her retirement speech on Raw was awesome. It absolutely sucks that she can't. Well, it looks like she'll never wrestle again.
Well, the thing is that she like. It can kind of be a Daniel Bryan situation where she's not cleared by WWE, but I think, I don't know if it was confirmed or not, but I guess she might have been pulling to be cleared by other doctors outside of WWE, so maybe she would have left the company and competed,
Well, she mentioned Daniel Bryan in her retirement speech. She's only 24, 25 years old? Like
she's 92, so she'll be 26 this year.
So 26 years old, like she's still super, super young. Like it would be absolutely brutal if she could never wrestle again. And
she's a vet. She's a vet. Of wrestling, at least. Just of wrestling in general. She's a vet.
No, for sure. She's been doing it for a long time, but it's way too soon. But this is a really good, just like it was for Bryan, this is a really good role for her to stay involved in wrestling if she can't actually wrestle. And I think she's great on the mic. She could be a great heel, and she could be a great face. So I think she's going to be a great manager. So
I think she could definitely go heel, because then you have the contrast of having Kurt Angle as a face.
She's a great heel. She's probably a better heel than she is a face.
Yeah, definitely. Like it, I'd say a little awkward on SmackDown. That's just me. But I think just settling into that new role. But yeah, I could definitely see her going heel, and she's gonna have a big influence, I think, on the women's division going forward. She'll have a big play in that.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when Stephanie McMahon was running Raw, and she was trying to say she started the women's revolution, which is not true. It was Paige. I'd say she was probably the girl that started it all. Her and AJ Lee doing their thing, but yeah. Yeah, I'm intrigued. SmackDown. It's gonna be a lot of changes coming through, and I'm gonna backtrack for 1 second, because we didn't touch on Raw. Authors of Pain debuting on Raw. That's big. Seems like they're separating from Paul Ellering, which I've heard might just be because he doesn't want to go with the work schedule, which is totally fair. He's earned that. No Way Jose on Raw. Really shocked by that one because he's not on NXT that often, and when he is, he loses usually. But he's very popular. When I saw No Way Jose come out, I thought that's gonna be Adam Rose. That's the new Adam Rose. He's got the dancing people behind him. He's gonna turn heel eventually. Yeah, I feel bad for Jose. I feel like that's not gonna work on the main roster, but I'm pulling for him because I he's a huge fan favorite, and on when you watch NXT, everyone's chanting No Way Jose. So I'm pulling for him. I'm pulling for everybody that comes up, but we'll see. And the big shock I'd say for Raw, even though you heard rumors, Bobby Lashley coming back. What? Okay, dude, that's crazy. He was a big star.
Yeah.
And he was only in WWE for 3 years initially. Which is crazy to think, but. Quickly, do you see him? What do you see with him? He just wants to face all these guys. He said he wants to just do all these dream matches. Where do you start? Brock,
yeah. It's gonna be Brock. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's gonna interfere in the Lesnar Reigns match, and it's gonna lead to Brock versus Lashley down the road. You know what he's gonna do? Someone's gonna he's going to start fighting them. He's going to throw them into the outside of the steel cage. And then he's going to do that spot that he did about 10 years ago where he's going to jump into the cage and break it. Yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah, that makes sense.
But as soon as I saw Lashley, I thought, yeah, he's never going to lose. That's how that's going to go. Yeah. He's never losing. But, yeah, honestly, interesting. Oh, Jeff Hardy's back. That's cool.
Jeff Hardy
really
had
happy to see
one of
that.
The best backstage segments I can remember in the last few years.
Oh, dude, that's so cool. I got chills watching that live.
It was hilarious, man.
And just quickly, obviously, congrats to Matt Hardy on winning the Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania. I was trying to say it as he would, but I'm not going to do that.
I was going to say, that's
tough. Andre's Battle Royale of Giants, which is cool. And that segment was so, it was so awesome. And it seems so genuine, too.
Yeah.
I got chills when Bray gave Jeff the hug. And I also got chill. I don't know why. And you could barely hear him say it because he was so subtle with it. He was just quiet with it. But when Bray said that he felt wonderful, I was like, yeah, yes. I'm here. I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan, and I'm pulling for him. WWE doesn't feel the same, but, yeah, dude, I was like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. But even Rollins and Balor, their reaction.
Oh, that was great.
Rollins'
that was
face,
yeah, he was just like, what? My thing with that is Seth, you watch the show, right? He's kind of weird, right? But no, I'm just playing. But Jeff was just like, hey man, that's how the Hardys get down,
Just walks off.
But yeah, that was cool, man. You know what? My prediction: Jeff Hardy to SmackDown next week.
That makes a lot of sense actually, because I think they want to
give him a fresh start. Sorry, go ahead.
I think they want to keep Matt and Jeff separated, and like you said, a fresh start for Jeff. A lot of interesting matches that he can be in. Yeah, I think it makes 100% sense.
Because you don't need them together. It doesn't seem like they're gonna tag because that's Bray Wyatt and Matt now, which is wonderful. And getting Jeff on SmackDown, dude, when he was at the height of his career, WWE title, he was on SmackDown. So he was that was his show. So love to see him on there. And yeah, him and AJ Styles, him and Daniel Bryan, him and Shinsuke,
a lot of good matches.
Him and him and Dolph Ziggler, whatever. It's gonna be cool. I'm sure Dolph Ziggler's gonna get moved or something. Doesn't matter they don't care about him anymore.
Yeah.
But as of right now, the Iconic Duo or the Iconics now on SmackDown Live. So I thought there were gonna be more call-ups from NXT, but I thought Sandy was definitely gonna come up from NXT, but they didn't. Maybe next week. But yeah, they made a huge statement, and they helped out another female, which we'll get to in a very brief moment. But yeah, you know what? Me personally, I love watching NXT. They were a great act in NXT. It sucks that neither of them ever won the NXT Women's Championship, but bringing them on SmackDown, it's been cool. I hope they don't ruin them because I know Vince McMahon likes to ruin NXT superstars, but hopefully Trips puts his foot down and says, no, these girls are special. They're young. They have the potential to rule that division.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for them, man. Really.
Yeah, it should be.
But knowing Vince McMahon...
Sorry.
No, I was saying knowing Vince McMahon, you know... We'll see. They'll have some weird gimmick eventually. And they're foreign for us.
Yeah, so
right. They're foreign.
Vince is gonna use that.
So they're gonna come out with like kangaroos and all. They're gonna play up to the Australian.
Yeah.
Some ridiculous, man.
Come on, kangaroos.
Sorry. Oh my god, dude! They're gonna come out with like safari hats and I don't even know, man. It's gonna be so awkward. Yeah. But that's just that. I'm just playing. I really hope I'm not playing. But yeah, it's exciting, and you know we've seen SmackDown get a lot of talent from NXT over the last year. Mm-hmm. You know, so just building on that division, man, and they kind of need that kick in the ass. I think. You know, Becky Lynch. Naomi's coming off the women's battle royal win, and that's great for her. Becky kind of needs to find her spot.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't know why they didn't just end it with Bayley eliminating Sasha.
I think it would have been a little too predictable.
Man, predictable.
Which isn't bad. Which is not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad. No, it's not. Sometimes less is more. You know, and less is good. So I would have liked to see that, but I think it was interesting. I think that hopefully means it's a big year for Naomi. You know, obviously she went into WrestleMania last year. Well, she went into WrestleMania season as champion, got hurt, went to WrestleMania, returned at WrestleMania, I should say, and won her title back in her hometown, or her home state at least. Yeah. So, you know, we'll see. I think Becky needs to move to Raw, maybe.
Yeah, she needs something, man. She hasn't been used properly in a long time.
No, and you know, you look at SmackDown, they love the women's tag team matches. Now you have the Iconics in there. You know, that opens up the floodgates to them two versus Becky and Naomi or something, or versus Charlotte and a partner, or you know, even the Riot Squad. They want to prove they're the baddest team on SmackDown Live, so you have that match going. So it's cool. But like I was saying earlier, the Iconics did help out Carmella because she's now the SmackDown Women's Champion. I knew, you know, Raw after WrestleMania, SmackDown now the SmackDown after WrestleMania. You got to have some big moments. I did not think Carmella was going to win this soon.
Well,
I mean, they're coming down to the wire, obviously, but I just thought... So go ahead. No, I'm cutting you off.
No, like, it's fine. It was a little surprising, but I think when Charlotte beat Asuka, I kind of had a feeling it was going to happen quickly, just because it would have been crazy to end Asuka's streak on a cash-in.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
okay, I'll give you that.
Once Charlotte won, it seemed like, okay, Carmella's probably going to get her moment soon. Because if Asuka's the champion, you just can't... Unless Carmella cashes in and loses, she just can't cash in. You know what I mean?
Imagine if she had...
That's what I thought was going to happen.
We just saw that last year with Baron Corbin. So, you know, I get that. I understand that having that aura of the Money in the Bank briefcase, like, it shouldn't... I mean, if they win and you think, oh, well, they're obviously just going to win the title, it kind of takes away. I mean, it adds interest to when it actually happens. But if you're just saying, oh, that's lock that in as a world title for them, you know, I think you have to have those shocks. But having that happen twice in a row, definitely not a good idea. No. So I'm very happy for her, and she's definitely earned it. And she has a great character. And she did that back in the backstage segment she did afterwards, where she got interviewed and she was crying and all that. Like, it was very genuine. She fooled me because she was just kidding, you know. But I thought she was gonna say, when she was saying, "I have one person to thank," I thought, boom, Big Cass.
Oh,
Big Cass walks, because she was kind of like motioning to the side and all that. I that's at least my perception of it.
That would have been interesting.
And I thought because she's saying he's cleared. He didn't obviously appear at Mania, but I mean, I'm sure he was backstage at least. Yeah. And you know, I thought she was gonna say Big Cass, dude. Like, I know they're trying to push Big Cass, but I'd be excited to see him now, and he's coming back soon. And you know, you can rid yourself memory wise. You can rid yourself of all the stuff with Enzo, because he's kind of forgotten about now, as they like to forget about him, and have a fresh start for Cass on SmackDown. And imagine them as like them together as like a power couple. You can have him in like the U.S. title scene, and they can have like the gold and all that. Yeah. And yeah, I think that'd be cool.
That could work, because it wasn't the way they were booking Cass before was definitely not working. So
No, it was weird. It was weird. Big Show is the perfect. I think Big Show was the good guy to get him over, but then he got hurt. So it happens, right? It happens. So just thinking, like, Enzo injured him, and Enzo goes on like these title runs. He's beating Neville. Like, wow. All right, well, I mean that didn't work out in the long run. So I'm not saying it's because he was bad in the ring or anything. He was interesting in the ring, but legal matters come about, and not going to speak on that anymore. But congrats to Carmella. I'm interested to see what happens with her, and yeah, man. Honestly, I think we should probably wrap this up. It's been a while.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna have a lot to talk about next week with the Superstar Shakeup. So.
Yeah. So as Dan and I were talking about earlier, before, I think we're gonna try to split the podcast into two parts, or just do two podcasts when there's a pay-per-view going on, because obviously we had to talk about WrestleMania. We didn't even talk about half the card for WrestleMania. So I think we're gonna try to break that up. So every couple weeks there's gonna be two podcasts coming out. Like, I don't even know who's listening to this. So I don't know who I'm talking to. Maybe I'm just talking to us, but yeah, we're gonna split that up. So next week,
we'll try to do a podcast on the Monday after pay-per-view, and then we'll do it the regular way where we put it out on the Thursday or Friday, recapping.
Yeah. So think about Monday, Tuesday for that, for pay-per-views, and then probably Monday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the other one. So next week, only one pay-per-view. We will talk the Superstar Shakeup and what's been going on with that, any news going on in WWE, and probably a little preview for the Greatest Royal Rumble, which is taking place on April 27th in Saudi Arabia.
Which, coincidentally, is my birthday. So, take that.
Happy early birthday, Dan. Well, you know what? I hope, for your sake, because I know you love it, I hope Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal go 20 minutes. Oh, God. But if that's a match. I don't think that's been announced.
If Jinder and Orton fight in a Punjabi prison match on my birthday, that would be a birthday present. That would be the best birthday present.
You wouldn't need anything else, man. You wouldn't need anything else.
I would not need one thing other than Jinder and Orton to go at it in a Punjabi prison match again. That's the dream.
Dude, I know people hated it last year.
Why?
So.
It's the worst match stipulation maybe ever.
It's so odd. It's actually it's very odd.
Well, we could. You know what?
It looks dangerous.
An entire podcast episode dedicated to talking about the Punjabi prison match at some point.
Best or worst match gimmicks of all time. I'm down for it. You can follow Dan and I on Twitter. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at Figure4Pod. We'll be posting videos on there. Well, posting news updates on there for wrestling, and we'll also be posting brand new episodes. So stay tuned to that. We'll be tweeting that stuff out. So yeah, you can follow us at Figure4Pod. I've been Mike Cummings. That's been Dan Marino. He will be in the next a couple podcasts. He'll be a year older. So happy early birthday to you, Dan. Superstar Shakeup next week on Raw and SmackDown Live. Greatest Royal Rumble event in Saudi Arabia coming later next week on Friday in Saudi Arabia. We hope you enjoyed this episode. A little long. We'll try to keep it a little short next week. It will definitely be a lot shorter next week.
We won't have much time
for sure. Thank you guys so much for listening, and have a very good weekend.